Shabbat Shalom. We are right now getting to this special third parasha from the book of Exodus or Shemot, and we are in Bo. No, Bo means come, and it's very interesting because the Creator is telling Moshe Rabbeinu to be close to Pharaoh and tell the Pharaoh something. With the idea of coming, because it's different to the word go, it's come. Sometimes people get confused, and I am so glad that Mauricio gave a very good explanation about this. But simply what it means is that our sages tell us that he say Bob because in this way the Creator is going with us. He never leaves us alone. Okay? That's the idea. I have been telling you that this year, I am not trying to become dogmatic, doctrinal, or this is the way that you need to believe, or this is the other way that we believe. That's what the scriptures say or don't say. And your personal interpretation is better than mine, or mine is better than yours, or the rabbis are better than the other. I am not here to make a comparison of religions. You know me that I don't like too much religion. I like relationship, with the Creator. I like to have a real relationship with God and to be able to have something that Moshe Rabbeinu had, talking to him. And believe me or not, we can do that. And sometimes you will be surprised. He answered you in ways that you sometimes do not know, but he answered to you. Sometimes with somebody else, sometimes with situations that happen in your life, and things like that, like Dennis has mentioned to us. He is always there, and we are not alone. Because many times we think we are alone. I can assure you that you are not alone because our Creator is all over. But here, I want to emphasize something. Verses in chapter 10, verses 3 and verse 7, there are a phrase that is very interesting. In Hebrew is ad matai. I mean, how long? How long are you going to take to do something? And interestingly enough, is the Creator who had that question to Pharaoh, to Moshe, and the other time is his own servants who asked the Pharaoh the same question: how long? Now, I want to tell you something that sometimes we do not realize about ourselves. Many times I have told you that it's very important that you learn to know yourself. I have been doing marriage counseling and pre-marriage counseling for many years, and lately have been doing with a couple. The first thing that I ask the couple is, how well do you know yourself? And they get a little bit confused with that question. And if you realize, if you look at yourself, it's very easy to talk about others than talk about yourself. It's very easy to criticize somebody, and it's very hard to look at yourself objectively. And no one of us, in the right mind, we think we believe something wrong, or we do something wrong purposely, unless that we are doing something evil, no? Well, we always think we are doing okay. But suddenly, something happened, circumstances happen in our families, circumstances happen in our lives. And we start questioning ourselves. Who am I? Or I am a fake? How many times I have asked myself that question? Because I do not reach the idea of the people who they think a rabbi needs to be. And my problem is I am too human. And I have too many areas in my life that I need to constantly battle. Then maybe I am not up to the status quo of this image that certain religious people give themselves. But totally the contrary for me has been wonderful to come to a process of humbling myself before the Creator. And in chapter 10, verse 3, basically what he say, you know, Vayavon Moshe ve'Aharon, and they went, no, to Paro, and they asked him, you know, Ad matai me'anta, le anot mitnei. Now, how long, you know, he said, how long are you going to really define me, or you're going to be against me, or you're going to not to obey me, but you do not humble yourself before me. For us, one of the greatest problems that we have inside, I have told you, psychologically speaking, is called pride. Pride is a virus.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it's a disease that is very contagious. And hit to all of us. And most of us, we want to keep the faith, the facade. Sadly enough, most of the religions, they teach you to keep the facade. It is more important whether you look than who you really are. And this is something about us as human beings. When we are higher than anybody else, comes adulation. We start feeling ourselves bigger than what we really are. And we become like balloons that are floating in the air. We are like a peacock, you know, going up. I had told you before that I have one experience like that in myself. I was so full of myself that I was a real balloon. And I was floating in air. And you know when you're a balloon, you know what happened? You look down. You look down to everybody. Nobody like you. You are better than anybody else. You're smart. You're very good looking. I'm sorry. It's self-image, you know. You are very righteous. You're holier than thou. Nobody is holier than you. And nobody believes as close to you, that's closer to God than nobody else. To the point that God is glad to call you to be on his side. You know, you're so full of yourself. And comes a moment, the Creator has a sense of humor too. He has a little needle, and he does, pitch. And I don't know, you have seen a balloon when it's full of gas. Start going to different directions, going down. You know, going down. And then fall on the floor flat. I always tell everybody that the Creator was merciful to me. instead to be flat on my face, I was flat on my back. And why I say that? Because when I really was flat, I was able to look up. And finally, my life started changing. And I am talking about when I was holier than thou. And in that process, I learned what it means to humble yourself before the Creator. And the Creator goes and talks to you directly. But you are so inflated that you cannot hear Him. Because you prefer to hear others or yourself than to hear the voice of the Creator. Suddenly, come to the point that you are so stuck up that there are going to come people to you. Maybe even your best friends that they don't know how to tell you. Maybe they are shaking their pants because you are going to get upset with them. Have you had that situation sometimes in your life that you have met somebody who you really care or you love, but you are afraid to tell them the truth? And then what you think it's better to look to the other side. Something that happened to me very often. I have had a situation with people who had come to me and say, Rabbi, I am concerned about this person. Can you talk to this person? And what have been my answer to all of them, to all of you that have had that experience with me? What I say to you, go and you talk to them. And if you have problems, I go with you. But you are the one that needs to talk. I know, because you know that then I don't know what they're going to feel about me. Then don't come to tell me. Because that becomes gossiping. But all of us, we have that in us, that we see. You know, I was counseling a person here in the community. I told this person certain things that were very clear, they were wrong. That person got upset with me and left. Couldn't take it. I was not empathetic enough. Look, when you are doing something wrong, there's nothing better to tell you that's wrong. In order that you don't continue doing the same thing. Think about Pharaoh. His own people comes to him in chapter 10, verse 7. Again, the servants of Pharaoh, they told him, Admatai. Until when? How long? Okay? How long are you going to be accepting those threatenings against us? Let the men worship the God of Israel, Hashem, their God. Don't you realize that already Egypt is destroyed? You don't see it. Pride blinds you. Stubbornness blinds you. Last week I asked you this question, and I don't know if I can repeat that. That was about all of us who has a little bit of Pharaoh. And do you know something that sometimes people do not think about it? Pharaoh is a child of God. make to his likeness and image. Even Pharaoh could have this spark of divine that all of us we have. But he chose what is wrong. I have been teaching you during all this year about the truth that comes from the Torah. We need to make it ours, and that means we trust in it. Because the Creator has given to each one of us the Bechira Shear, the free will, to act according to our own will. And here sometimes looks like, in this portion, looks like the Creator is not giving Pharaoh free will. Totally the contrary. Because we misunderstand certain words in the Hebrew. What he said, his will was strengthened. Doesn't mean that he became stubborn on himself. And then he said, he used the word that his will was heavier. That means that he didn't want to change. Many times I give this example that will help us to us. You know, things start very small, and everybody say, "I want to change. I want to change. I want to change." And comes a time that you don't even want to change. I just not long time ago, I was talking with a friend that is trying to quit smoking. You know? And he told me, you know, it's interesting. When I started smoking, I didn't like it. I coughed and I almost suffocated myself. And was the ugly thing. But I started smoking because everybody smoked. It was cool. That already tells you about your own self-image and about your own self-image, your own ego make you do or imitate others because you want to be accepted by others. You cannot be yourself. How many of us we are in that situation? Like I said to you, we live by appearances. And I tell you, I repeat to you again, religion is one of the worst things about making you look like something that you are not. They teach you about the most important thing is about the facade than what it is within you. I start saying, how well do you know yourself? You can talk about others. You can criticize others. But are you able to make it your auto or self inspection, introspection? You know what is interesting? When many people say, Rabbi, I want to pray. Please pray for me. I say, you need to pray for yourself. And why I say that? Not because I don't like the person, no. Because the word prayer in Hebrew, tefillah, what it means? Introspection. When you go and you present yourself before the Creator, the first thing that you need to do is to examine yourself, to look within yourself, to be sure that you don't have anything there under the carpet, like I mentioned. Expose it. Tell him. Be honest with him. I have this problem. It's holding me back. And I don't know how to overcome. I am weak. No, I am strong and can do it. No. Admit it. Once you admit it, you have the moment of the beginning of start again. How many times when I do counseling and come people and say, my son, my daughter, my friend needs counseling. And I say, okay, tell them to come. I will be glad to receive it. Oh, they don't want to come. You cannot do anything with a person who doesn't want to be helped. Then, at my time, until when? How long? How long we are going to be struggles? How long we are going to accept everything, doesn't matter what, because it's more important what people think about me than what really I am. My dear friend used to be here, she used to say, I never surrender. And what happened? Was defeated. Because to acknowledge that we need help, to acknowledge that we need to change our way, is a way to start a new life. When you start recognizing your limitations, when you start recognizing your problems, that's when you start growing. Not before.
Growing pain. Growing pain.
Growing pain. Admatai. But his servant is telling Pharaoh, Pharaoh, don't you see it? You have been defeated to everything. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Moshe Rabbeinu, I defeated you and your gods. We see it. We don't need explanations. It's there. Let's say, over my dead body. Unchanged. Creator need to give us one plate. These people finally, for one who himself greater than anybody one, the death of the firstborn. Now, last week I told you something, I'm going to repeat it quick. Already there were Egyptians. Look at what I'm telling you. Already were Egyptians that start acknowledging the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they were fearful of him. That means they knew who he was, and they accepted him. And very clear, the Creator said to Israel, I won't touch it. I want to touch Egypt. And that they see the difference, because the message was for both sides. But Egypt could get out of those plagues if they went close to the Israelites. You know the ninth plague, Shear, the darkness. Very clear say dark, but in Goshen there was light. And the last one, the death of the firstborn, the Makkah Harot. What was? You would put the sign, and all that are under that sign, they are not going to die. Can you imagine already the Egyptians, they already fear God? They went very quickly to the house of the Israelites.
Yeah, because they wouldn't kill the lamb.
No,
Themselves.
they wouldn't kill the lamb, but they would be under the house.
Right.
Interestingly enough, only as a matter of getting out, that lamb was not for the forgiveness of sin, but this is another issue. I don't want to get in there. I already talked too much about those things. Because right now I am talking about Atmatai. How long? Are you ready to change? Are you ready to make a revolution in your own life? In other words, are you ready to be yourself? What are you afraid of? What are the things that are holding you back? Do you know what it means to humble before God? You know, humble yourself but really in a very simple way, without trying to be too doctrinal correct and to be too philosophical and all. Very simple. Do you know what it means to be humble before God? To acknowledge who He is and recognize who you are. That's simple. And you want to see how your life will start changing. You know about how many steps forward you give, or how many steps forward, backward you give, how many times you bang your head, and how many times you go to the left, and how many times you go to the right. That's beautiful. But that means nothing if there is nothing here, and you don't do it. You know the intention, kavanah. That is the key. Remember? Emunah, bitachon, bechira chofshi, and kavanah. That's the process. That is what I have been trying to show you. You go from faith to trust. From trust to be responsible of your acts. And being responsible of your acts, your intentions are the ones that are judged. Our great teacher, Rabbi Yashuv, he told us that. He said to us, and every rabbi will agree with that, that it's not only that what you do, it's your intention. You know, when he say things about, for example, lasting, you know, lasting doesn't begin only because you touch somebody. No, already when it's in your head and you are thinking. Let me go back to them. At Matai. Until when? And start asking yourself, what kind of the Pharaoh is in you? The good side of Pharaoh or the bad side of Pharaoh? Because Pharaoh looked like that he was a hard head. We're going to see later on that not only where he let them go finally because he defeated him, because his people basically say to the Israelites, leave us alone. If you stay here, we're going to suffer more. We don't want to keep suffering. And the Israelites didn't want to leave. They were very not comfortable. They were literally spared. They didn't leave voluntarily. You know, this is sometimes we receive pictures that are not true. If you read the scripture, you read the Torah, you will see in any moment where it says that Israel left Egypt voluntarily. They were pushed. Get out, get out. And they started running. You have never heard in these chapters that Israel say, please God, help us, deliver us. There is no one. They say was understood, was there. No. The Torah speaks very clear. Because the people of Israel were not ready. The people of Israel, they wanted to keep the status quo. And with Israel also, the question comes to Israel. At Matai. until when you are going to be completely surrendered to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I was talking to you a month ago about Hanukkah. I was telling you about the great problem of assimilation. That comes today in this portion. Israel literally was assimilated to the way of life of the Egyptians. They wouldn't even dare to sacrifice a lamb in their midst around them because the fear to the Egyptians. They needed literally to be forced in certain ways by Moshe Rabbeinu, telling them, this is the thing that you need to do, and you need to put a mark in your houses. If you want to pass this plague, Passover, Pesach. Because to follow the Creator is also, there is a cost. And I wonder you know that. And the cost is sometimes that maybe you are not going to be popular. The cost may be that you, in the environment that you live, maybe you won't be looked as somebody that the people would like to associate sometimes because they're going to think you're strange. You're not going to be popular if you have children with a school board, because you need to complain to them about what they're teaching. You won't be popular maybe in your own places of work, because you do not accept certain things that for them is natural now and it's okay. There's a price to pay. The question is, are you willing to? Because most of us, we want everything free. And for everything there is a price. Are you willing to invest in your life with the Creator? Because that wouldn't be a blessing to you and to your family and to the people who are around you. Our Creator is keep asking us at what time? How long? Until when? My question to you is, at what time? How long are you going to wait? How long are we going to wait? Sorry, I'm putting on you. It's on all of us. How long we're going to wait? Are we going to play the game of a facade? Or we are going to be real about us? We are good side and bad side. We are limitations and with everything. You know, how many of us will play the game holier than thou? How many of us will play the game that, you know, I did not talk about that. We think we can solve our problems ourselves. You know, they say that a doctor who prescribes himself is a fool. A lawyer who represents himself is a fool. A psychologist, a psychiatrist who counsels himself is a fool. And we are fools if we think we can answer all our problems ourselves, or our situation. We are fools. At my time. Until when? Shabbat Shalom to all of you.